Hey, what is up? What is good? What's going on? Welcome in everyone to a special edition FIFA World Cup 2026 group preview show. Wanted to come on here real quick, guys. Gonna do a real quick 15-20 minute show. Just kind of go through the groups here and see if we can find any good values here. Maybe get some EV or some CLV on some of these plays before the public starts to hammer it here as we get closer to the tournament. So we are 40 days out from the first kickoff of the World Cup. So I am super excited. Hope you guys are too. And it's the greatest tournament in the world, greatest sporting event, most popular sporting event, and can't wait for it to get started. So before we get into the plays, guys, two things I'm going to ask you to do. One, if you can head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you listen to us, give us a real quick rate, review, subscribe. Does wonders in helping out this channel grow, getting it out to more potential listeners. And then the other thing here that we're going ahead and I'll give you guys a real quick rough draft of where we're at in terms of the World Cup and kind of how the group stages work. So right now we're sitting with 12 groups of 4 teams each, so that's 48 teams total. And basically, the top 2 teams from each group automatically advance to the round of 32 single elimination bracket. And then your third place teams in each group, the top 8 of those 12 third place teams also advance to the knockout stages in the round of 32. So basically, if you finish third place in your group, you have an 8 out of 12 or 75% chance of making the knockout stages in the World Cup. So this is the biggest World Cup that we've ever had, 48 teams, the largest World Cup in terms of the amount of teams that are in it. And of course, the round of 32 is a first as well. So we're going to see a lot of teams punching their tickets here, and I think it's going to be exciting for a lot of countries that maybe haven't had the chance in years prior to make it to the knockout stage. So really excited, really eager, and just pumped to get into it. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and just get right into it, guys. No time to waste here. So we're just going to start off in chronological order here. We'll start with Group A. We'll give a rundown of each group, and then I'll give you guys where I find where I can see value plays in each group. So I'm not going to give out any minus 500, minus 600 plays. You guys can do that on your own. My job here is to kind of look for plays that maybe are high or flying under the radar, maybe some sleeper plays, or maybe some plays with some really good value that I believe have a really great chance of hitting. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and get this started. So we're going to start with Group A, where we have, of course, the host nation, Mexico. We also have South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. 2 plays I landed on in this group. The first play is going to be for Czechia to finish bottom of the group at plus 300. I'm kind of out on this Czechia team. When you're looking at them, they're a very old team. They're the 12th oldest team in the entire tournament out of 48 teams. So a little bit long in the tooth is this team, and they're not in very good form either. They're winless in 5 of their last 7 matches, and those 2 wins came against San Marino and Gibraltar. So those are 2 of the bottom 10 countries in the world. So you take those out, they really haven't won in quite some time. And they're just not a very good team. They're not very dynamic. They don't really do anything great. They're just very mid in every aspect of the game. And so I think in a group here where you have 3 teams that are very youthful and very energetic, right? Mexico, South Africa, South Korea. These teams are going to cause problems for this older Czechia side. I mean, not only that, Czechia, 2 of their games are in high elevation in Mexico. And so that obviously is going to add to their, the wear and tear and the conditioning level of these older players. And then their other game is indoors at Atlanta, which typically indoor matches tend to be more fast paced. They tend to cater to a more fast paced style of play. And so I think that everything is kind of lining against Czechia, not only just this group, but also the venues that they're playing in. So I think we're getting good value here on Czechia to finish bottom of the group at plus 300. And then the other play I'm looking at here in this group, I like South Africa to qualify, plus 120. This South Africa team is slept on. They're a very talented team. They're a youthful team, 13th youngest team in this entire tournament. So a lot of energy, a lot of young legs on this team. And they play a very entertaining style of soccer. If you guys remember the Club World Cup last year, the Mamelodi Sundowns were a team in that tournament. And a lot of people liked watching the Mamelodi Sundowns. Well, the thing about that is a lot of those players that play for that team also play for the South African national team. So I think that was kind of a little bit of a preview of what you could expect to see in this World Cup from the South Africans. The South African team is very talented. They finished top of the group in World Cup qualifying ahead of Nigeria. just to give you some context of just how good this team is. So I think getting them to qualify in this group that doesn't really have any dominant teams, getting them at plus money, I think there's a lot of value there. So I will definitely be playing South Africa to qualify at plus 120. Next up, let's move over to Group B, where we have another host nation, Canada. Of course, we have Switzerland, Bosnia, and Qatar in this group. Two plays I'm looking at in this group. I'm going chalk here. I think Switzerland wins this group, but I really like the value here, minus 105 for the Swiss to top this group. I think Switzerland is far and away the best team in this group, and I'm really surprised that we're getting such a great price on them to win this one. They were undefeated in World Cup qualifying. We're the Swiss, and they allowed only 2 goals in 6 World Cup matches. So this is a Swiss team that is very much in form, undefeated in 13 of their last 15 matches overall. So great Swiss team, very entertaining Swiss team. They're a complete team. They have a top end talent going forward, great defenders. Just a very, very balanced side that I think can make some noise in this tournament, to be honest with you. So I really like them to win this group at minus 105. And then the other play I came up with is going to be Canada as the runner-up in this group, plus 160. I think they are the second best team in this group, and I think home field advantage is going to help this Canadian side to get over the line here and finish second place. I don't really rate Bosnia. I think they're a very average side. They don't do anything really great. They kind of, they were fortunate to make the World Cup, in my opinion, but when you look at them as a total team, they're heavily reliant on a 40-year-old Edin Dzeko to score their goals. I think he scored over 85% of their goals over the last several years. So very, very reliant on him. And other than him, they really don't offer much. This is a team that actually lost to Luxembourg twice in World Cup qualifying. So just to kind of show you the inconsistencies that you might see from Bosnia. So I don't really rate Bosnia. And then Qatar, I think, is probably a bottom 5 team in this entire tournament. So not expecting much from Qatar either. So again, in this group, Switzerland to win the group, minus 105. Canada, runner-up in the group, plus 160. Next up, we'll go over to Group C, where we have Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. I'm going chalk here, but I'm probably going in the opposite direction from other people. I actually really like this Moroccan side. I'm going to go with Morocco to finish first and Brazil to finish second. And you're going to get that combo at plus 500. When we're looking at Morocco, this is a vastly, vastly underrated team here. They have lost just one match in the last 2 years. One match. So this is a Moroccan side that is very much in form. They have tons of talent all over the pitch. Great mixture of youthful and veteran presence, and I really think this Moroccan side can make some noise as well in this World Cup. I'm a huge fan of theirs. That Brazil-Morocco match, the first match of the World Cup in this group, it's going to be must-see TV. I think that's going to be a really entertaining match and likely will decide the winner of this group. And I think Morocco is going to edge them out in that one. So for that reason, I like Morocco to win this group. I still think Brazil finishes second. We're looking at Scotland and Haiti. They don't really offer much. Scotland, I think, is going to probably try to play a very defensive style, compact in the back and kind of limit the damage, but they really don't offer much going forward. So I think they're just going to struggle to score goals, which is going to kind of cap them and their potential here. And then Haiti, happy to be here. Not really sure what to expect from them. They play with a lot of effort, but at this stage of international soccer, you need more than effort, and I'm not sure if their effort's going to carry them enough here in this tournament. So not expecting much from Scotland and Haiti. Give me Morocco to finish first, Brazil to finish second, plus 500. Moving on to Group D, we have the host nation, of course, the one we're most invested in here, United States of America. And then we also have Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. This one's probably my favorite group play of the entire World Cup. I'm really shocked that we're getting this great value. Give me group winner to be Turkey at plus 200. I don't get what the books are doing here. Turkey is far and away the best team in this group. They have the best top end talent out of this group. And forget about previous results. I know Turkey beat USA pretty soundly about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Forget about that. Turkey is just a better team. They're just a better team than the United States. And where the U.S. is weak, that's where Turkey is strong, right? The attack from the Turkey side is lethal. And at any point, they can put up multiple goals. And where the U.S. struggles most is defensively. I mean, we are relying, and I see we as a U.S. fan, we are relying on a 40-year-old Tim Ream to potentially play significant minutes for us in the back here. So I think that just goes to show where we're at defensively. And then our goalkeeper situation is probably the worst that it's been in maybe 30 years since before Tony Viola in 1994. And so where we're weakest at is exactly where I think Turkey can exploit us, as I say, us as an American. Um, I think Turkey is just significantly better than the United States, and I will absolutely play them here to win the group at plus 200. And then the other play I like in this one is Australia. I like them to qualify at minus 115. This is a very hard-nosed Australian team. Nobody wants to play them. You hate to see Australia on your schedule because what they lack in talent, they make up for in heart. And this team, they're talented enough to get by, but they play very physical. And one thing I will tell you guys, as someone who's watched a lot of Australian soccer, because of course I am of Middle Eastern descent, and Australia plays in the Asian region. And so I see a lot of them when they're playing in Asian World Cup qualifiers, Asian Cup, a couple other tournaments that are also in Asia. I watch all those tournaments. And so I've seen Australia a lot. And one thing that you get from Australia is when that game is finished, everyone is walking with limps and bruises and they're all black and blue. It's a war. It is a war when you play Australia. They fight for every blade of the grass. They're very technically sound defensively. They don't give you much at all. And they're just a hard team to play. They're just a very hard team to play. And so I think that could be conducive here to get out of a group that is not exactly a group of death here. So I think we're getting good value in Australia to qualify at minus 115. Next up, we're going to go to Group E, where we have Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. One play in this group, I like Ecuador to be the group runner up at plus 110. It's Ecuador side. You want to talk about a hard nosed, gritty team. Ecuador, in my opinion, and probably statistically as well, is the best defensive team in this entire tournament. The problem is they offer absolutely nothing going forward. They don't create any scoring chances whatsoever. But they are very tough, technically sound defensively, very difficult to beat defensively. And they like to muck it up. The 0-0 score lines are a common theme with Ecuador matches, and so I think the difference in this group is probably going to be Ecuador might be able to get a point against Germany, whereas Ivory Coast, I think, might lose to Germany. And so that could be the difference here between who gets the second position. I do expect Germany to win this group. But for that reason, I'm going to take Ecuador here as the group runners up at plus 110. And then there's really nothing to say about Curacao, probably the worst team in this entire World Cup. Happy to be here, but it's pretty much curtains for them. Group F, we're looking at Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. One play in this group that I found value on, Tunisia to finish bottom of the group, minus 125. I think Tunisia is out of their depths in this group. I think Netherlands, Japan, and Sweden are significantly better than the Tunisians. Tunisia is a very inconsistent team. They're usually pretty sound defensively, but they offer virtually nothing going forward. Recently, they had some scores where they put up a couple goals, but multiple goals for Tunisia are very hard to come by. And I think when you're playing a team like the Netherlands, like Japan, like Sweden, who can put up goals and put up goals in a hurry, I think Tunisia is just going to struggle to keep up with those teams offensively. And I do expect Tunisia to finish bottom of this group. And I think we're getting a really good price here at minus 125 for Tunisia to finish bottom of the group. Group G, we have Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. One play in this group that I found has some value here. This might surprise some people. I actually like Iran as a group runner up at plus 175. I think this group is a toss up for second place, really between Egypt and Iran. I don't really rate New Zealand. Anytime New Zealand goes outside of Oceania, they tend to struggle. They look like a fish out of water, literally. And so don't really rate New Zealand. I think this is Belgium's group to lose, but that second place is up for grabs. You're looking at Egypt and Iran. I'm going to take the side with a little bit more World Cup experience. Iran, they've played in several World Cups together. They are an older side, but that experience, I think, could push them over the top against an Egyptian side that is a little bit in flux right now. They have some talent, of course, Mo Salah, Omar Marmoush. They got some guys, but nothing crazy, nothing anyone should be fearing. And so um, I think the Iranians here, I think they come into this one with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, right? Of course, we all know everything that's going on politically with them, and I think they're going to use this opportunity to really galvanize each other and play for the people of Iran, right? And really try to represent them in the best way that they can. And so I think you're going to see an emotionally invested Iranian team here. Again, with a ton of World Cup experience playing against a lot of top teams around the world. So give me Iran to finish the group in second place at plus 175. Next up, we're going to go to Group H, where we have Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde Islands. Uh, I think we're seeing a lot of great value here on Saudi Arabia to finish bottom of the group at plus 200. This is a Saudi team that is not in good form at all. They have lost four of their last six matches. Hervé Bernard just stepped down as the manager. Of course, he was the coach in the last World Cup in 2022. I'm sure we've all seen the viral clips of him in the locker room at halftime against Argentina, which the game that they won and shocked the world. Since then, it's been a lot of mediocreness from Saudi Arabia. Did not look particularly convincing during World Cup qualifying. They haven't looked convincing since then. And this is just a very, very, very mid team. That in this group, I think they're going to get played off the pitch here. I don't think they have enough talent here. And I really like them at plus 200 to finish bottom of the group. I think that's excellent, excellent value here for a Saudi Arabian side that is just struggling. So give me Saudi Arabia to finish bottom of the group here at plus 200. Next up, we're going to go to Group I, where we have France, Senegal, Norway, and Iraq. A lot of people consider this to be the group of death. I would agree with that. I think this group is loaded with talent, but what I would say is don't sleep on Iraq. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Iraq. And Iraq is a quality side, and they can hold their own in this group. So two players I like in this group. I like Iraq to qualify, plus 450. Um, I think they could potentially finish ahead of Senegal. When I look at Senegal, I see a team that has a lot of talent, but they don't utilize it in the right way, in my opinion. They don't play aggressive enough. They don't play attacking enough. They're too conservative for the amount of talent that they have. Specifically when they play against African teams that are significantly weaker than them, they tend to kind of play with their food, and they don't put teams away the way that they should when you look at their roster. And so I think an Iraqi side can absolutely play right there with Senegal. Iraq is a very again they don't offer a whole lot going forward, but they can compete. They compete and they're very technically sound defensively. And I think when you're in a World Cup, that can go a long way, depending on your group. And in this group, of course, France and Norway, I expect them to kind of run away with this group, but. I think Iraq can finish ahead of Senegal. So for that reason, I like Iraq to qualify plus 450. And then I'm also going to look at Norway as a runner up at plus 110. Again, France is just far and away one of the best teams, maybe the best team in the world right now. But this Norway side, very, very entertaining team, very solid team. They ripped through their World Cup qualifying. And of course, we have Erling Haaland, Alexander Sorloth, Martin Odegaard. This team is just, there are tons and tons and tons of talent on this team. And so um, I really like them a lot. And I think they can make some noise for sure and make a deep run in the World Cup. I think they're going to shock a lot of people. But give me them as a runner up here at plus 110. I think there's significant value on that one. Moving over to Group J, where we have Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. This group is the most fun group for me. If we were able to bet the highest scoring group, I would choose this group. Hopefully that bet comes available here. I know in the last year's FIFA the Club World Cup, we had a lot of bets that they gave out prior to the tournament. There was a lot of different optionalities that we had, and I'm hoping they do that again with this World Cup as we get closer. So right now, I don't see any highest scoring group props. If it comes out, I would definitely go for Group J to be the highest scoring group. I think you have four teams here that love to play attacking football, and defensively, they're okay, but they can be had. And so I do expect this to be a fun group. I think we see a lot of goals. But what I landed on here was two plays. They're both going to be for Jordan. I like Jordan to qualify plus 350. I think that's significant value here for a Jordanian team. Uh, they can put up goals. They can absolutely score. You're talking about Algeria and Austria, right? I think Argentina obviously is the one that should win this group. But you're talking about Algeria, you're talking about Austria. These are two teams. They're not exactly defensively sound. They're not the greatest defensive teams, and they can give up goals. And again, this is a value play. I think getting Jordan, who I consider to be somewhat close to the level of Austria and Algeria, and we're getting them to qualify at plus 350. I think there's a good amount of value in that, and I'll definitely be playing that. And then I'm going to put a tenth of a unit here on Jordan, runners up in the group, plus 1,000. That is incredible value, again, for a Jordanian team. I don't believe is that much different from Austria and Algeria. I think those three teams are very similar to each other. Of course, Austria may have some little bit more stronger top end talent, but with the way that they play, they can give up goals at any point. And so this Jordanian side, very good offensively, and I think they have just as good of a chance as Algeria and Austria to finish second in this group. And so the fact that we're getting a plus 1,000, when in my opinion, it should be significantly less than that. So I think there's excellent value on getting Jordan as a group runner up at plus 1,000. I'll be putting a very small sprinkle, tenth of a unit on that. Next up, we're going to go to Group K, where we have Colombia, Portugal, Uzbekistan, and DR Congo. Two plays I like in this group. We're gonna go with DR Congo to finish bottom of the group. That comes in at plus 175. Unfortunately, I don't think Congo is gonna have much to offer in this group. They struggle significantly creating scoring chances, and I think against these three teams in the group, that's going to be their demise. I just don't think they're going to be able to score enough to get results in this group, and I think unfortunately they have talent, but they don't gel together the way that you would expect them to. And again, I think we're getting good value on DR Congo to finish bottom of the group in a very tightly contested group. We'll get them to finish bottom at plus 175. And then another play here I like. We're going to put a tenth of a unit, another sprinkle here. Uzbekistan to win the group plus 3,500. This is an outstanding Uzbekistan team that nobody knows about. Nobody knows about this team because nobody watches Uzbekistan, right? Undefeated in 30 of their last 32 matches is Uzbekistan. They have lost a total of 2 matches in 3 years since 2023. 2 matches total. So this is a very, very underrated Uzbekistan side. Very good defensively, can score when needed. They've got excellent team unity. I would say is the key word for Uzbekistan. Uh, they just play together, and they are a tough team to beat. And I think with the aging Colombian side and the aging Portuguese side, Uzbekistan can absolutely cause some problems. And so getting them to win the group at an extremely inflated price at plus 3,500, to me, Colombia and Portugal are not the dominant teams that they used to be. Um, and again, I would expect them to win, but you're going to give me plus 3,500 for Uzbekistan to win the group. I'll definitely to put a sprinkle on that. So again, DR Congo to finish bottom of the group plus 175. Uzbekistan to win the group plus 3,500. And then finally, here we're going to move to Group L, where we have England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I think this group is pretty straightforward. I'm going to take England to finish first, Croatia to finish second, plus 115. There's no reason that England shouldn't win this group. And then we're going to take Croatia just as the experienced team to finish second in this one. I don't really rate Ghana very highly. I think they're too inconsistent for me. And in Panama, anytime they go outside of CONCACAF, they tend to struggle. So I think Panama is a great CONCACAF team, but I'm not sure if they're really on the level of competing internationally outside of CONCACAF just yet. So give me England to finish first, Croatia to finish second, and we're going to get plus out of that plus 115. And then finally for me, guys, as I look at some futures here, we're going to look at a reaching the quarterfinals future. One play I like that I landed on that I think has some value. I like Brazil to reach the quarterfinals at minus 120. We're looking at their expected path based on the way I see it. Based on my projections, they would play Netherlands first. in the round of 32, which I believe they can beat Netherlands. And then they would play either South Africa or Canada. Again, that's based on my projections. Which of course they can beat South Africa or Canada, in my opinion. So, given their path, getting them at minus 120, I think that's a really solid play here for Brazilian side. Even though they might not be the Brazil of years past, they're still a very good team and still have top end talent all over the pitch. So, we're just asking them to get to the quarterfinals. I'm not asking them to win the World Cup, but get to the quarterfinals minus 120, very playable price given their expected path. I like that play a lot. And then we're going to look at some win the World Cup, right? Those are the fun ones. I will give you guys what I think is a high chance, a medium chance, and then a very, very long shot chance in terms of the odds. So my high chance is going to be France plus 500. I said it before. I think this French team is the most talented team in the World Cup. They are just loaded, 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 top to bottom. Even their bench team, their reserves could probably be starters on most teams around the world. And so I think France has every chance in the world to win this World Cup. Just a dominant team. I mean, what can you say? Just a lot of fun to watch, and there's really nothing they can't do. So France plus 500. I think there's great value on that. Looking at a mid level here team to win the World Cup. I really like Norway's chances plus 3,000. I get it; they are in the group of death, so that does give a little cause for concern. But if they can just get out of that group, I think they can advance at least to the quarter, or well, we're talking about the World Cup, but I think they can advance far enough. And depending on who they match up with, they have an opportunity here to go a really long way. So plus 3,000 for Norway with the experienced players on their team, guys who have been in top Champions League level plays, and so I don't think the moment will be too big for them if they make it far. I like Norway here plus 3,000. I think there's some good value in that. And then my long shot to win the World Cup. Give me the Switzerland plus 8,000. I love this Switzerland team again. Very underrated team. They are explosive up front, dynamic in the back. They really don't have any weaknesses. And they're a great tournament team. And I just think, again, it's going to be matchup dependent here once they get out of the group. But you're going to be plus 8,000 for a Swiss team that has a lot of a great mixture of youth and veteran leadership on the team. I'll take it. So give me the Swiss here plus 8,000 to win the World Cup. And then finally, for me, guys, looking at some top goal scorers in the tournament, the Golden Boot winners. I got two players in mind here. The first one I think there's value on is Erling Haaland plus 1,400. Again, going back to Norway, the way that they play, I think is very conducive to Erling Haaland, and I think Haaland shines more for Norway because of the way that they play. It's more suitable for him. He's going to be able to create a lot more chances, scoring chances for Erling Haaland, and so what he doesn't see at Man City, I think he's going to see more of at Norway with the Norwegian team. So give me Erling Haaland to lead the World Cup in goals scored, plus 1,400. And then if we're looking at a long shot, I'm looking at Omar Marmoush, plus 10,000, to be the top goal scorer. And the reason for that is you look at their group, there's no real solid defensive teams in the group. You got Belgium, Iran, and New Zealand. And there's a potential here for Omar Marmoush to put up some goals in group play and maybe get a head start on some of these other some of these other players that might be a little bit more difficult groups defensively. So I think getting Omar Marmoush plus 10,000 is worth a little sprinkle. Let's see, maybe if he can get a head start, and we'll see how far Egypt can go in the knockout stages. But this is more of a play on him in the group phase. I think he's in position to put up some goals here early in the group play. So Omar Marmoush plus 10,000 with a sprinkle, and then Erling Haaland plus 1,400 to win the Golden Boot top score. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Real quick, I'll go ahead and give you guys a real quick recap of what we're looking at here. Group A, I like Czechia to finish bottom of the group, plus 300. South Africa to qualify, plus 120. Group B, Switzerland to win the group, minus 105. Canada, runner-up in the group, plus 160. Group C, Morocco to finish first, Brazil to finish second, plus 500. Group D, group winner Turkey, plus 200. Australia to qualify, minus 115. Group E, Ecuador, group runner-up, plus 110. Group F, Tunisia to finish bottom of the group, minus 125. Group G, Iran, group runner-up, plus 175 for Group G. Group H, Saudi Arabia to finish bottom of the group, plus 200. Group I, Norway, runner-up, plus 110. Iraq to qualify, plus 450. Group J, Jordan to qualify, plus 350. Tenth of a unit on Jordan, group runner-up, plus 1,000. Group K, DR Congo to finish bottom of the group, plus 175. 1/10 of a unit sprinkle on Uzbekistan to win the group at plus 3,500. Group L, England to finish first, Croatia to finish second, plus 115. Looking at futures plays, Brazil to reach the quarterfinals, minus 120. To win the World Cup, France plus 500, Norway plus 3,000, Switzerland plus 8,000. And top goal scorer, Golden Boot, Erling Haaland plus 1,400, Omar Marmoush plus 10,000. That's going to do it for me, you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. As we get closer to the World Cup, we'll be sure to give you more content. But again, I just want to hop on here real quick, kind of give you guys some early looks, some early plays, maybe get ahead of the edge here again before the public starts to get on. So appreciate you guys as always. This has been the World Cup 2026 Group Preview Show Special Edition podcast. I am the Prince of Picks. On behalf of OnlyBets Podcast, appreciate you guys as always. We will see you guys on Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Thanks as always, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.